നമസ്കാരം. ഓ ഓ ഓം സഹനാ വവതു സഹനൗ ഭുനക്തു സഹ വീര്യം കരവാവഹൈ തേജസ്വിനാവധീതമസ്തു മാ വിദ്വിഷാവഹൈ. ഓം ശാന്തി ശാന്തി ശാന്തി. Yesterday we were looking at the sheaths of consciousness. ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടല്ലോ? പേരൊക്കെ ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടോ? ഒന്ന് പറയൂ പേര്. അടിച്ചു മാർക്ക്. Annamaya Kosham consists of what are the related to food. What are the components of Annamaya Kosham? Medas. Okay. These are the components of Annamaya Kosham. Annamaya Kosham represents the body. Body is composed of these sapta dhatus: Raja, Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa, Asti, Macha and Medas. And why it is called Annamaya Kosham? അതെ, അപ്പം മിക്കവാറും റെഡിയായി. ദിസ് ഈസ് അന്നമായ. ഇനി ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ പോകില്ല. ഇന്ന് പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു രീതിയിലേ പോകത്തുള്ളൂ എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കാം. ചിലപ്പം പിന്നെ വലിയ വേറൊരു ഫോമിലായി പോയാൽ അവരൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. അപ്പം അതാണ്. അപ്പം if there happens something with the Annamaya Kosham, how could we deal with the Annamaya Kosham? Correction of food, because it comes from the food. And what else we could do? ഇപ്പം പഠിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടില്ല, ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുക. മെഡിസിൻ. That is, actually we can do that. Food is medicine എന്നൊരു ഐഡിയ ഉണ്ട്. എന്നുവെച്ചാൽ ഫുഡ് മെയിൻലി കമ്മിങ് ഫ്രം പ്ലാന്റ്സ്. പ്ലാന്റ്സിൻ്റെ മറ്റൊരു പേര് ഔഷധി എന്നാണ്. ഔഷധി. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഫുഡ് ഏത് ഫുഡിനകത്തും ആ എലമെൻ്റുണ്ട്. അത് നമ്മൾ കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയ ആളുകളുണ്ട്. അവർ പറയുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് അതിനെ നമുക്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കാം, ഫുഡായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. ഫുഡ് കറക്ഷൻ കൊണ്ട് നടക്കും. പിന്നെ മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം, the other thing that we could manage is correcting the body. Any stress that comes to our mind will have a counterpart in the body, which is fatigue. And if you allow, fatigue means the function of the cells are not proper. Fatigue can be there for a little time, but if it is not going, there is some correction needed. Otherwise, the fatigue will lead a person to some kind of disorder in the body or maybe sickness. So correction of the body could be done in two ways. One, food correction. The other, by correcting the body by physical exercises. In yoga, it is yoga asana. Adana, that idea has developed into yoga therapy. Yoga therapy, so many things are there. But basically food correction and taking away the stress and fatigue which is there in the mind and in the body correspondingly. And then you can manage the body. That's Annamaya Kosha, the correction. Food and asana. Asanas, when you get into asana, what is the classification of asana? What are the different asanas? Standing asana, sitting asana, lying asana, upside, belly lying, prone and supine, then upside down, twist and balancing. Other way, one has to choose what is the asana which is supporting that particular region of the body, and you have to stimulate the part to take away the toxins which are there. The basic idea is the disease comes. Disease is one. In yoga, disease is not many. Disease is one. Discomfort is called disease. And so this discomfort has to be taken. Depending upon where it comes, it is known by different names. This is the basic idea of yoga and nature cure. Disease is not many, it is one. It is discomfort to the body. Depending upon the organ where you have the problem, you can call it differently, but disease is basically one. And it needs to be corrected. Correction can be done by cleansing the body. That is part of the Hatha Yoga system, not Patanjali's yoga. Shakriyas, Nedi, Daudi, Pasti, Nauli, Kapalabhati, and Tranaga. That I will take later. So by purifying the body, you can get better. Then correcting the food and doing asanas to actually stimulate and purify the body, you can handle many of the sickness. So if it is a problem that came slowly to you, not as an infection, but as a what do you say, doctor, for that? In the system, if something happens in your system and that the cause of the problem is coming from a particular organ or something, it can be called by some names which is done by the masters. And that needs to be stimulated and then try to correct it by food correction. And so many other corrections are there that we will look. Then, Annamaya question. So, the first step of correcting the problem is by addressing the body. Asana and food correction. The second sheath is Pranamaya question. Pranamaya question consists of all the 5 main pranas. What are they? Samana, Udana, and Vyana. These are the 5 pranas. What are the subsidiary pranas? Kurma, Krikara, Naga, Dhananjaya, Devada. These are the 5 subsidiary pranas. Together with the work organs, karmendriyas. Pranamaya question consists of 5 main pranas, 5 sub-pranas, and the karmendriyas. Karmendriyas are vak, pani, padam, payu, upastam. That is mouth, hands, legs, genital, and anus. So these are the components of Pranamaya question. So correction of Pranamaya question is done by pranayama exercises. Pranamaya question is connected by breathing exercises. Pranayama exercises. And then Manomaya question consists of 5 senses. Then the analytical mind. The senses, the sensations that are coming to the body, and the analytical part of the mind, which is called manas. The correction is done there. About the ambitoda. Meditation. But mainly, the Manomaya question, the stress in the mind needs to be addressed. The root cause of the sickness is Adi. From Adi, Vyadhi comes. That is a basic dictum in the Indian tradition. All diseases are coming from Adi. And then it becomes Vyadhi. Vyadhi means disease. So, the stress needs to be eliminated from the system. For that, we have so many practices like pranayama practices, withdrawal of senses practices, meditation practices. So, meditation is a basic tool for correcting the Manomaya question to take away the stress. I will go to the details when I finish this. And then Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha consists of 5 senses plus the intellectual mind, the intellect. So what the intellect is doing is creating concepts, beliefs and ideas. First it discriminates between good and bad, right and wrong. And then if it is good, the person enjoys. If it is bad, the person suffers. So this is a constant process that goes on whenever information comes into the mind, or suo moto, the mind takes information to reevaluate and do the process. By doing this process, you synthesize some knowledge. Then you try to generalize the knowledge to test whether it is applicable for everybody. And so when it feels that it is applicable to everybody, concepts are created. Generalizing certain personal understanding leads us to create some concepts, beliefs and ideas. So we are clinging on these concepts, beliefs and ideas, identifying with the concepts, beliefs and ideas. And any challenge to the concepts, beliefs and ideas will be felt as a threat to oneself. So stress will come out. And so correction of Vijnanamaya question is by observing the concepts, beliefs and ideas and see how one can get out of this. It is very powerful because your concept is challenged by somebody, you get really very aggressive and your heartbeat increases, your lungs has to work a lot, all the constructive system put down, the destructive system takes over the story, stress. So we go there. So that needs to be corrected. So the basic component that creates this is in that Vijnanamaya question, it is your knowledge, beliefs, ideas, concepts. So work with the knowledge, beliefs and ideas. Whenever the concept comes, you have to stay with it and see what it does. And if it is ruining your body, what is the point in holding that concept? And all the fight that we do to protect ourselves from others, thinking that the concept is you or the belief is you. That is why you try to protect it. For that, people can even sacrifice their life. That is what we see in political arena. And so this is a very important, deep area that needs to be looked. And something has to be done about it. So the question is, am I my concept, beliefs and ideas? And then by exploring this, you understand I am not. Then why are you trying to kill yourself for upholding this? So the body will remain peaceful. And then the possibility for getting sick will be reduced. So it goes into prevention. And when, if a person is really sick also, it is very important that the person feels a little calm. That is why, like rehabilitation centers or maybe sanatoriums, that is all very important so that you can be in a peaceful place where you feel little love, feelings, all those things. And you're not holding on the concepts anymore because the atmosphere is okay. But people can still hold and then get very angry. So Vijnanamaya kosham is dealt in this way when a person is sick, by exploring the concepts, beliefs, and ideas, and then getting detached from it. Then Anandamaya kosham. Anandamaya kosham is the sheath of bliss. It operates in three different ways. One is modam, pramodam, second is pramodam, and amodam. Simple joy, heightened joy, and celebration. And that's the very root of all human beings. And if you are happy and calm, certainly the possibility for getting sick will be less. So one has to find the calmness from outside and from inside. And for that, you have to travel somewhere, maybe in a resort, or maybe in a hill, or maybe on the sea, or places like that, which is actually not creating further problems. So naturally, when people get into beautiful places, they start to feel that it's so nice, and so they start to forget themselves. And that is why traveling and going in beautiful places, trying to harmonize with the nature, hearing music, enjoying things which are going around them. And this is the way one can actually deal with the Anandamaya Kosha. So disease is cured or dealt with in yoga therapy by doing all these things, addressing all the sheaths of consciousness simultaneously. Then there are in yoga, there are certain things like purificatory programs. That is the Shatkriyas, Nedi, Vasti, Dhaudi, Kapala, Bhadi, Tradaka, and all those things. So together, that is a scheme, that is the basis of yoga therapy. It's not actually administering any medicine from outside, but rejuvenating the body by going into the depth of the body to see all the deeper components of it, and stimulating the components and allowing these components, which is the different sheaths, to rest peacefully. Thereby, the possibility for getting out of the disease will be very high. So it could be done simultaneously with some maybe drugs nowadays, because now diseases are coming, very strong infections are coming. If you don't do anything, then maybe you may not get time to do all these things. So this is in the very base of curing the system by dealing with all the sheaths of consciousness. Annamaya, once again, Annamaya Kosham. Annamaya Kosham can be dealt with by asana exercises, food correction. Then Pranamaya Kosham with pranayama. There are many, many pranayamas. If there is an essay question or something like that, you have studied so many pranayama. You can write a little bit, one line each. So you will have many pages to trouble the examiner. So many things he has to read. And then Manomaya Kosham, one has to deal with addressing the mind, how the mind is working. And when you look, there is stress. So reduce the stress by engaging yourself maybe in bhakti, in devotion, allowing the mind to calm all the time. That is Manomaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha, finding out your concepts, beliefs, and ideas. And if you have very strong hold, and from the hold a lot of troubles are coming up, certainly you can try to ward off these concepts, beliefs, and ideas by dropping them. There is no other possibility. And that is a big work, a deeper work. And then Anandamaya Kosha, try to be happy. And try to cheer yourself all the time. Don't go into depressions. Try to cheer you up with small, small things of life. Not like a big joy. There is no big joy here. Joy is very temporary and very momentary, but when it happens, when it comes, one needs to focus and stay with it, to enhance it, to extend it. Thereby, you can be you can get a condition where you can get rejuvenated by yourself. That's Anandamaya Kosha. So this is the correction. Then food correction, asana, doing asana exercises and purificatory programs is part of the Hatha Yoga, purificatory programs. And then food corrections, they have a model.